Sup everyone, today I'm going to give you guys a really quick rundown, which will probably take a long time, on everything that's in the Sonvia. I've been getting a lot of questions lately, like how do I keep it cool, like what fuel do I use, what fuel pumps are in it, like what diffs in it, what knuckles I use, like just heaps of random questions. And I'm just going to tell you everything about it now. But if I do miss anything, just chuck in the comments and I'll reply to you. It'll be that simple. But yeah, let's get into it and start from the front, work our way back, and then I'll do all the outside, like body kit, all that sort of stuff at the end, I think. So we'll start with the engine bay, because that's really what everyone loves about drift cars, right? Let's begin with the engine. It is an RB25 NEO completely stock engine. The only thing that it's got is ARP head studs, a Nitto head gasket, or Tomei head gasket, sorry, because they seal a lot better. So the Tomei and the Nittos, they're hands down the best head gasket you can get. The MoTeC ones are a little bit, if you start going with high boost. And then the bigger Lewis engine sump is on the bottom of this thing, and then I run a N1 oil pump with the billet gears, and honestly that engine, there's nothing else done to it at all engine wise, but it does have a ATI balancer on the front, and then it has a trigger kit. So obviously the trigger kit's at the top here for the cam, and then there's one on the crank. So if you guys are sort of interested to know more about that, you can hit up High Octane Racing. They actually sell this kit that I've got. And then obviously that's all integrated back into the MoTeC and whatnot. I use LS coil packs to give this bad boy some spark. I just use the standard copper spark plugs. There's nothing crazy there. Oh, injectors. These are 2000cc injectors. I can't remember what brand they are. I got them from Garage 7. But yeah, they're nothing special at all. This is a BPP. God, that's dirty. I think it's BPP. Yeah, there it is. BPP. I think that's the name of them. They do fuel rails for a lot of cars. So yeah, it's just a pretty cheap fuel rail. I run -6 feeds from the back. Yeah, so basically I have 2 fuel pumps feeding the engine. I'll rip the boot off and we'll have a look at that later on. But pretty much 2 fuel pumps feed the engine, and then a -8 return. So it's a pretty simple setup, and I use all E85 approved lines, and then just speed flow fittings. Yeah, it's got a standard oil cooler and remote oil filter kit on this. This is terrible having it upright. If you guys do get one, run it the other way around, because yeah, when you take it off, oil just goes everywhere. It's a crap way of doing it. And then yeah, the oil cooler is just a eBay spec, like, what is it, 15 row or something, very basic, and then just with -10 fittings on it. Nothing special there whatsoever. So feeding air into this bad boy is a old school GARRETT GT3582R with a 0.8 rear housing. I think it's 8.4, 8.2 rear housing. And yeah, this is like so old. This is, oh, I don't even know how old this thing is now. Probably, oh wow, I got that in New Zealand. That turbo is no joke, like 8 years old and still going. That's incredible. I can't believe that. It's actually yeah, quite impressive. Anyway, moving on. So let's just follow the air trail here. So obviously we'll come back to the exhaust side in a minute, but yeah, turbo, it's just stainless steel piping, nothing too crazy. Oh yeah, K&N air filter into the turbo, and then the GARRETT turbo comes straight out into a very cheap Aeroflow. Yep, that's an Aeroflow front mount intercooler. It's all just silicone hoses and T-bolt clamps, nothing special. It comes up to a Hypertune throttle body. That's just a generic, I believe it's a 90mm. And then it just integrates the factory TPS sensor. And yeah, it's cable throttle, not electronic yet. And that goes into a genuine Greddy manifold. This actually came with the car when I bought it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then obviously the gases and everything goes through the engine, makes magical power. Comes out to the rear housing here, which is a 0.8 housing. Boost is controlled with this 50mm Turbosmart, I believe it's a ProGate. Yeah, so that's a Turbosmart 50mm ProGate. And then a 3-inch exhaust all the way through to the back. There's no mufflers or nothing, and it's half stainless, half mild steel, and then goes back to stainless at the back. I do have EGTs in each cylinder on the manifold, and the manifold is a Helps Metalworks manifold. So for you guys that don't know what that is, it's pretty much like a 6-boost manifold, but my mate Craig Helps was making them at the time that I needed the manifold, and when we started promoting him, he was actually selling heaps of them, but now he's sold all his jigs to someone else. I don't know if they went to Solid Engineering, but they're now doing manifolds as well. So if you guys want a similar sounding engine to what I have, which I get asked a lot about, because everyone thinks I rev this to some astronomical figure. It gets revved to 7,600, 7,800. So the two limiters chop in between those two RPM settings, and the sound is purely coming from that exhaust manifold. I don't know what Craig Helps did, but it sounds freaking amazing, and you know, it almost sounds like it revs another 1,000 RPM than it actually does. So with the return line of the fuel, our fuel pressure reg is a very off-the-shelf FPR 2000 from Turbosmart. Very basic. Fuel pressure sensor, we got oil pressure sensors, oil temp, coolant temp, that's factory. And what actually does keep this thing cool is a FENIX radiator. Okay, this is a generic, like off-the-shelf R32 GDR, or sorry, R32 GDST radiator, I believe. And this is a very homemade shroud. I actually got this in Queensland last minute. I really needed something, and I used the viscous standard fan, clutch fan. So in my experience, that has been the best way to keep this thing cool. It blows a hell of a lot more air. You might lose, you know, 10 kilowatt, whatever. I don't even know, probably not even that much, but you lose a bit of power because it, you know, it's got to draw it off the actual engine itself. It's worth its weight in gold. I've had thermos on it, it overheats. I've tried heaps of different radiators. The other best radiator I could recommend would be a Coyo, because that's what I used to have in it, and it didn't really get hot ever. It was a 33 GDST Coyo one, so it was a lot taller, and we had it on a big angle, and yeah, that kept it pretty cool. But this thing, you know, 300 kilowatt, it still gets hot. I'm not gonna lie, like I do one lap and it'll start creeping up, you know, mid 90s. If I just keep going, yeah, it's gonna overheat. So I just let it cool down, get it back down to like mid 80s, and then go again. So for everyone out there going, oh, I can't do lap after lap after lap, it's freaking hard to just keep doing lap after lap after lap in a drift car. If you can figure out a way of doing that, keeping your thing cool, you're probably running some big truck copper radiator or something. Yeah, that'd be like a miracle if you can make that happen. So let me know how you're doing it if you're keeping your car that cool. Yeah, so as for overflow for the radiator, it's just a basic overflow here. Yeah, nothing special there whatsoever. Standard brake booster, I actually don't really like it, especially when you're chasing, because the pedal feel goes soft and then hard, and then it's not consistent, so that gets pretty frustrating, and you start locking front wheels. But you know, you got to drive around it. I think this is a GDR Slave. I think nah, maybe not. I'm not too sure, guys, but it's pretty generic in my eyes. Oh, I also forgot, I got a head drain on this. Of course I do. Yeah, I got a head drain that goes down to the sump. Oh, power steering. Now, for everyone that's losing power steering belts, I use an R33 GDR power steering pump. The R32 ones have got some like double port thing and it's a mess. But yeah, if you can get your hands on an R33 GDR pump with the bracket, and then every time I put that thing on, I get 2 straight rulers and line them up to make sure the belt is like 100% dead straight. Because if it's not, you're going to throw belts all the freaking time. So it's tedious, but has to be done. What else can I show you in here while we're here? Oh, catch can. Catch can's probably not big enough. Let's be honest. It's probably about 3 litres there. Not even. But that goes all the way down the bottom. It's just got an air filter on here. And then obviously fittings up to the covers there. That's pretty much it. But they are MCA coilovers. The Silver Series, I don't believe they make them anymore. They got pretty much the same design in their Red Series now. Don't quote me on that, Josh might kill me, but I'm pretty sure their Red Series are like on par with the Silver Series now. Although those were close to I think they were $3,600 for those coilovers. And they were very custom at the time. But I got them back in 2010 as well, I think. Wow, everything's getting old on this car. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to show you. Braided lines, oil, water. That's all pretty normal. I don't run an power steering cooler, just so you guys know. I just relocated that from where it normally sits here up to the front. And yeah, I don't run a cooler for the power steering. I actually use a special oil, which I won't tell you because I really don't recommend it. I'm not going to tell you what I put in there because I don't want people doing it, because I think it does flog the pumps out. You just got to change the seals on them pretty often. But I never have power steering overheating issues, which is good. Headlights, they are literally some eBay special. They are so crap. They don't light anything up. These are actually indicators. As you can see, this one's very secondhand, but it still works. So we'll keep going along with that one. And yeah, I really need to get new headlights. Alright, I'm gonna assume that's everything in here. Oh yeah, I got a link map sensor in there as well. I think that's it, guys. Alright, let's get to the gearbox. Let's not do what's inside just yet. We'll go over the driveline, because after the engine, obviously the clutch, it is a 230mm twin plate clutch, very generic off the shelf unit. I'm actually going to put a new direct clutch in this one, but there's a video coming on that and the reasons behind all that. And then I've got the GSR G Force, that is a direct bolt-in kit with an automatic RB bell housing. So if it was out, I'd show you, but it's pretty simple. And then it's just a one-piece tail shaft that goes all the way back to a GTR diff. And the GTR diff is ridiculously strong. Never had a single issue with it. It's been amazing. And then obviously GTR half shafts out to the uprights, which are DriftWorks knuckles. They've actually taken an absolute hiding over the last 8 years or whatever. And I'll probably change them to GK Tech ones. If I do that, I'll do a video on it and show the reasons why I'm doing it. It'll be more of a test than anything. And then, okay, let's open the boot. Sorry guys, but it's freaking filthy in here. Anyway, so in the boot here is a lot of stuff, but we'll come to that in a minute. I just want to explain that, yeah, there is a GTR diff in there. I use standard lower control arms. I really should take this wheel off. Let's take the wheel off. Okay, wheels off. If you guys actually wanted to know, these are quips. 18 by 11.5, -10. So yeah, I run them with no spacer because I like dish wheels. But anyway, we got hard race camber arms. We got some very interesting tow arms. I think they're homemade from when I bought the car. Yeah, hard race traction rod, and then standard lower control arms with a GTR sway bar underneath. I have solid bushes on the subframe. That's pretty normal for any drift car. And then obviously got the twin rear caliper setup. So obviously one's for the foot and one's for the handbrake. I don't know which is which here, but it's pretty easy to find out quick. And then, yeah, Silver Series MCA shocks in the rear. So it's a very, very simple little setup really. Nothing too crazy. And then as we come into the boot, I have a PC925 Odyssey battery. I have no idea what that means, but anyway, if you really want to know, that's the battery. Got some relays here for the fuel pumps and a flex fuel for E85, just so I know what content I got. I run an eBay spec 40 litre fuel cell, and then I have a fuel filter here. It's a BMW fuel filter, and a lift pump on the far right. So that feeds the surge tank here, and then these two pumps feed the engine. So the lift pump is an Aeroflow one. It's a very cheap, high volume, not high pressure pump, which is what you need to, you know, fill your surge tank up. And then I've got two 044 feed pumps to the engine. So it's very, very basic, if you ask me. That's pretty much that. It's really hot, by the way. It's 38 degrees outside, so it's probably like 40 something in here in the shed. But anyway, so that's pretty much a drive line taken care of. I'll just chuck this wheel on and I'll quickly show you underneath the front. Okay, so on the front we got 18 by 10 rims with a 10mm spacer to clear the standard R32 brakes. So I think I got that wrong on the rear. There, yeah, everything's R32 on this. And yeah, it seems to work alright. We have obviously the Silver Series coilovers in here, the MCA ones. I don't know if you'll be able to see in here properly, but I got the P knuckles on the front now, Phil Branson spec ones, and he made some lower control arms for me. And then I still have these borrowed caster arms from Scotty Miller, which I haven't returned, which I only just remembered then. Sorry Scotty, I really should do something about that. Just let me buy them, please. And then yeah, we have a sway bar back in now that we got the different sump on this engine. Yeah, that is just a stock sway bar, so nothing special there at all. The steering rack has been moved forward. Phil did that as well, so it's less likely to bind. And then everything else under there is pretty well standard. Alright, moving on to the inside. Sparco Evo driver's seat, and then a very old Bride passenger seat. These are on just standard Sparco rails as far as I'm aware. My head does hit the roll cage, which does suck. So yeah, you just got this padding in here, which is actually a requirement now. Everything's very dirty in here. But now, yeah, obviously got the MoTeC dash, and then under there's the M130 MoTeC and the E888 expander box, and then just a simple Nava fuse box, and the car has been rewired. All these buttons, please don't ask where I got them from, because I bought the car with them and I've got no idea where you get them. I think they don't make them anymore, but yeah, obviously start and stop buttons and whatnot. These are the connections that I put in yesterday. That one's for the ECU, this one's for the dash, and it's just the Ethernet cable we just plug in, hook into it. I'm going to do another video on how you can change the dash and put whatever you want on it, because it is pretty cool. What else is in here? Oh, fire extinguisher. I got a big one in here, and it is actually out of date, I'm pretty sure. The handbrake is a Racing Logic Hydro handbrake, and I got my reservoir just chilling on the back of the roll cage there. In the back here, there's nothing really special. There's a water box for sprayers, but I don't use that anymore. Oh no, I do still use that every now and then. Mainly when I just go to Queensland and it's really humid. Standard pedal box. There's nothing special there. Accelerator, brake, clutch. This actually bends all the time and I've got to bend it back. Like it bends to the right and gets really close to the brake pedal. I don't know why, but anyway. Obviously something I'm doing with my feet. Standard rack. Steering column. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Sparko wheel that some people hate, some people love, because it's only got the straight bit through the guts. And then, oh, this is actually a good luck charm from my mate Pun over in New Zealand. He's a good egg. Thanks, buddy. That's been in there since the earthquake. Yeah, he gave me good luck. And I haven't been on another earthquake since. RPM race gear harnesses. So yeah, that's, I don't know. That's pretty much it, guys. There's not really too much I can show you. Oh, the outside. Yeah, we haven't finished. See, now we can talk about the looks of it. Okay, now for the outside of it. It's all Origin, like Origin rear guards with my ghetto as like eBay spec flares on top of that. I did that just to purely fit the equips, and I can't get like 75mm guards for the rear anymore. Although they have just come back in the country, so I'll probably try and get some soon when I get some cash. And the kit is a streamline kit, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure it's a streamline Origin kit. The front guards are, 40mm? Pretty sure they're 40mm. So I have some bigger ones here, they're like 75. So I will put them on and maybe go back to my equips. We'll see what happens. And then yeah, Origin bonnet, which is absolutely destroyed. I've had it come up on me and smash the window, and, well, not smash the window, but hit the window. Obviously, carbon canards on the front, which have been destroyed as well. And then these extra little ones here. This is Chop's homemade guard. Standard doors, standard windows. We put Perspex in here because I smashed it when I crashed with Big Al in the car. Sorry, Big Al. And GT wing from Origin as well. That one's a, yeah, obviously comes with the bigger uprights. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, got some cool tail lights. Thanks Big Al and Shay. And I think that's it. Pretty sure, oh yeah, as you can see, this side's still got stock glass, the other side's not. And yeah, glass, 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 no weight reduction here. It's all, yeah, is what it is. So yeah, if you guys got any more questions on what you want to know about the car, just chuck them in the comments and I'll, yeah, reply to them. Pretty simple. Hope you enjoyed that. I know a lot of you guys were asking questions about this thing and everything in it. So I tried to cover everything I could as quick as I could. I know this video is probably still going to be like 30 minutes long, but here's what it is. And yeah, see you guys again soon.